All throughout my youth and into my 20s, I struggled with my self-esteem. I did not love myself, and that was clear. The disparaging view that I held of myself never quite felt normal, but it grew to feel deserved, which I feel says a lot about the state that I lived in for all of that time. To view yourself in a dark, unlovable, and in a negative way is a very sad reality. Because if you don't feel deserving of love to the point where you deprive it from yourself, could you ever really be loved? You will put these walls up around yourself to ensure that nothing that you deem to be undeserving of you can ever have you, even if that is love. And my negative self-image held me back in many aspects of my life, especially in relationships. It's not as though I could never get dates. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I could always get dates. But when I sensed any version of love from that man, I would step in and immediately end it, because it wasn't what I felt what I deserved. So it didn't feel right. And I was so far gone that I would blame him for his heartbreak, because in my mind, my unlovability was so apparent that only a desperate person would look beyond that and try to love me. I was a very toxic person. And if I could go back and find the people who I've hurt in my past, I would apologize. If I can go back and find myself, I would love her and never stop. In 2021, after losing my sister prior, I realized I had also lost myself. And though that may sound frightening, the experience of not knowing who you are anymore, for me, it was one of the most liberating times of my life. It was as though I became a blank canvas of which I could paint myself to be anything I wanted. I quickly began to understand the purpose of self-improvement. I understood the law of assumption immediately and the art of detachment. I found a certain freedom in those philosophies. I decided to become the confident woman that I am today. And it was not a quick journey. You'll notice in my earlier videos, I never showed my face. But I persisted in pretending to be a confident person until I believed it and until I became it. But pretending to be something that you're not seems like such an elusive tip to receive. How do you pretend to be confident when you're not? How do you pretend to love yourself when you simply don't? It is very difficult to change your mind when it's been made up in a certain way for years. When you are an insecure person, you will tend to base those insecurities upon logical facts to support your theory. You will focus on where you're lacking. Maybe you're a recovering addict, or your body isn't where you want it to be, or you're not earning as much as you think the competition is. If this was your dating profile, I don't think even Jesus could find confidence in you based upon that description. So I had to be honest with myself. Yes, I may have all of these unsavory traits. However, I do have a few great ones too. And that is a fact that deserves to be acknowledged if I truly am the honest person that I claim to be. And the majority of us claim to be honest, trustworthy, truthful people who tell it like it is, nobody will admit to being a hypocrite. So for you, perhaps you are an impeccable writer, artist, or musician. Perhaps you have a knack for mathematics and mechanics. Maybe you are a chilled and laid back type of person who makes people feel safe and calm in your presence. You can't deny that these are traits of you that people would find lovable. You can't deny that these are traits of you that you could start to find some confidence in. Speaking from my own experience, thinking your way to confidence isn't enough, unfortunately. Sometimes the damage is just too deep and dark. By the time I realized how broken I truly was, I had already accumulated years of behaviors and habits that cemented my belief that I am unlovable, that made me know logically that I am insecure. I feel insecure, and it's a rational feeling to have. I started becoming confident as I started acting confident. I started behaving as though I were a confident person, whatever my idea of that was. Which explains why I started this YouTube channel and eventually showed my face, because that's what confident people do. They are not afraid to be seen nor heard. I started actively going out of my way to stop quitting jobs, and I held them down for longer periods of time, which is something I always struggled with previously. I started volunteering in my community. I started taking care of myself. I learned to drive a bus, of all things. I started taking random courses that forced me to interact with others like I would have imagined confident people do. I began taking good quality care of myself and frequenting nail salons for the first time and body bars. I started dressing in a way that made me feel confident. I adorned myself in jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, rings, and hair accessories. I got my ears pierced for the first time at 28, and I got a tattoo. Highly forbidden in my family. Not allowed in the religion that I was raised to be. But in my mind, confident people express themselves authentically. Confident people don't care about the opinions of others. At the end of all this, I found that I had fallen in love with myself. And I had so much love left over to give. I became so confident, and I loved myself with such purity that I decided that it would only be a crime to not share this wonderful person with another human being. So I started dating again until I found a man who I am still very happy with. My longest, healthiest relationship to date. It began not out of an attempt to manifest him specifically, but rather out of my commitment to manifesting myself. Does that resonate for you? Now, I don't want you to mistake confidence for extroversion. That was a misconception that I held for a period there. It's easy to view the people who party every weekend as confident people. And if you are an extroverted person and you believe that more louder, crowded social gatherings would be what you would do where you were a secure and confident person, then of course, go do that and party double for me, my love. But I am an introvert. It is so apparent. So for me, my behaviors were everything I listed earlier, plus taking solo road trips and going to festivals and concerts and leaving when I've had enough. Speaking up when I have something to say and remaining silent when I genuinely don't wish to interact, and not feeling pressured to behave in a manner that others thoughtlessly expect me to. Something as simple as politely saying no to activities that you don't want to participate in. If you genuinely don't want to, and it is not your responsibility, is in my mind a simple, subtle way for an introvert to express confidence. Because confident people would have no issue with declining an invitation to something they don't want to be part of. The point is that confidence looks different for all of us. Loving yourself feels different to all of us. Part of being a confident person is knowing what confidence is to you and then adopting those behaviors regardless of what anyone thinks or says. Now, I promise I will get back to this topic because I still have one more very important thing that I want to share with you that I think will be incredibly beneficial. But I have been itching to tell you about the jewelry that I have been wearing today. Not even kidding. I absolutely love that stuff. Okay, but if you're not interested in hearing my random girl talk, then feel free to go ahead and skip to the next and most important chapter of this video. So I have been trying to support smaller businesses recently, as I have found that their intentions are far more wholesome. And the jewelry that I have been wearing today is from an online boutique called Translucence Kip. I like to call them Translucence for short. I find that they're a very free-spirited brand that encourages women to try more controversial pieces. Basically, to step outside of your comfort zone and to wear pieces that feel good to you, which is obviously something I've been resonating with. This bracelet, for example, has got my evil eye on it, and I've been trying to find an evil eye piece of jewelry that is made of quality and is still affordable, because I don't like spending too much money if I don't have to. So I finally got my baby. I feel so protected. I feel like I'm glowing, but I'm getting off topic here. I want to do this thing where at the end of my videos, I share with you businesses and creators that I have been falling in love with. Like I said, I have so much love left over to give. I've been swimming in it. And so if you or someone you know is a business or a creator, will you please do me a favor and link it in the comment section so I can check it out? I would really appreciate that. And of course, the link to Translucence Kip will be in the description box of this video, where I'm hoping you will go check them out and get yourself the matching evil eye bracelet if you want to. That way we can be twinsies and be matching. I would really appreciate that. I just want to say, Translucence Kip, thank you for existing. I think you are doing great work as a Black-owned business. Keep it up. Now, as I promised, before I end this video, I'm going to share with you what I deem to be the most important part of this lesson. I want you to understand that my journey to confidence and pure self-love was not a quick one for me. This took a period of 18 months to get me to where I am now. And I'm still not where I would like to be. But there will always be something to improve in my mind. There's always room for improvement. This may very well be a far quicker process for you, but I don't think you should put a deadline on it. Because the feeling of waking up each day and naturally loving yourself and living in a state where you're good with yourself, you're good within yourself, you're good as yourself, is such a fulfilling state to find yourself in, that even if it took you the rest of your life to attain, I think it would still be worth it for you, hun. And I believe that this is how wonderful things are achieved, through your dedication to seeing it through, regardless of the obstacles you may face, regardless of the timing. If you can look at your goals and decide that even if it took you 5 years to have that thing, you'd still go for it. Somehow it'll be made easier and it'll feel like no time at all. Where there is a will, there is a way. And I think this is what that parable means. There is no way without a commitment to the goal that you love, even through sickness and health, even when it's challenging, even when it seems like there's no progress being made. If you're committed to seeing this through, you will become what you're persisting in. And with that being said, thank you for watching this video. I truly do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I trust you'll give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more content just like this one. So, how did you like today's video, and what video would you like to see next? You let me know in the comment section down below. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Toodles.